Hi, it's JJ Realtor, and today I'd like to invite you to bike with me in North Central Park. Because this is about a 30-minute bike ride, I also want to invite you to play a game of I Spy with me. That way we can familiarize ourselves with this park and keep you entertained while we tour this park. So the first thing we're going to see is a swimming pool with some slides, some frisbee golf holes. We just passed the swimming pool with the slides. We're going to see about 4 playgrounds, 2 dog parks, some pull-up bars, about 5+ painted murals throughout the entire park, a white Suburban that almost runs me over, one angry gentleman that's upset at the white Suburban for almost running me over, one skater, 2 skateboarders, a tractor, a skate park, basketball courts, volleyball courts, baseball fields, so a few deers, and a few pets. So that was another park that we just passed. To my right, these are the restrooms that we are passing. And I came in through the international entrance. For those of you that are looking at a map, there are several entrances to this park. So the main entrance is on International. Coming up here, we have a second playground. To the left is the bike lane for those of you that like to ride bikes like me. Typically, there's not too many bikers here. Mostly they come in the morning. We come in the morning. We just passed a pair of pull-up bars. This is a nice little bridge we have coming up here. At least the closest we have to a bridge. There was recently a storm in Laredo, and you'll notice a lot of mud, more than usual, fallen trees. That's not common. It's typically a little cleaner than that. Okay. Here you will see a little bit of residential properties in the background, some houses. I'm not sure quite how long this is. I'm sure it's more than a mile, maybe 2 miles. Many houses do back up into this park, and they sell nicely because, oh, there's a mural to the left for those of you playing I Spy with me. They sell nicely because people like to exit from their backyard into this trail. Typically, you will find a lot of people in the morning. It's when they're coming to ride the bikes and coming for jogging or walking. Right now, it's about 3 o'clock when we're recording this video. It's a fresh 90 degrees. To my right, you will see the dog park. There's 2 dog parks. To my left, you will see a man-made pond. Well, I didn't actually capture it in the video. However, it was there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here in front of the park. The dog park, there's 2 sections for it. On the right, it's the large breed, and on the left is the small breed. If you want to go ahead and pause the video right about here, Duco's Dog Park. So it's just a little bit of trinkets, toys for the dogs to jump through. Mostly people just let their dogs loose. Many people do have birthday parties for their dogs here. I've attended a couple of dog parties there and really enjoyed those. Here's some lights that at night, in the evening, when it's a little bit darker, they illuminate some of the pathways. Another pair of pull-up bars. And to the right, what you're going to notice is a large water reservoir. So this park was built around the water reservoir for when there's extra rain. The water has somewhere to go and pretty much doesn't affect the commercial or residential areas. In that large water reservoir, there's many events. I know they do, for example, there's 1 pet there and 2 pets there. There are several events that occur in this park every year. You have kite festivals. There's some of that mud I was talking about. There's kite festivals. There's Tough Mudders. Speaking of mud, some apartments to the left. The Tough Mudder competitions, they pretty much put obstacles around ropes monkey bars, and they fill it with water and mud in the middle. Intentionally, they make ditches, so if you fall in pretty much a mud and water, and it just slows you down. It's a kind of a race. So it's nice events to bring out the kids here when they do have those events year round. The city of Laredo posts them, and usually people will post them on Facebook and social media. This road right here that we're approaching is McPherson. So if you look on a map, pretty much International is where we started, and now we are in the McPherson area. You'll see a little bit of winding here. Typically, if you're jogging, you will not be as tilted as I am here. And we're about to have a few windy trails here, so bear with me. If you're dizzy, you might want to look away here. It's a little bit windy. And luckily they've built small bridges and overpasses so that those not looking to exercise as much can cut through to the right. Here, when it's festivals, oh look, there's another mural. When there's festivals, all this is filled with people flying kites, enjoying it. The Tough Mudder competition, you'll be able to see the obstacles. To the left here, you're going to see a local bar. So it's a beer garden, and there's a bar called Nido. Families come. I brought my pets here, and it's really enjoyable. There's several events, a lot to do in there. There's just outdoor sitting. It has a very Austin vibes. I really enjoyed it. And there's accessibility from the trail in case you want to grab a nice cold drink after your workout. To my left here, you will see Wing Daddies. If you're looking for a place to get some drinks or some wings, here's also a good place. And of course, up ahead is Gold's Gym. So those looking to get a workout in and go for a jog or vice versa. And here you might notice someone trying to run me over, and they braked in the last second. Of course, I have the yield as a pedestrian, so they were not in the wrong. They could have passed. I was going to stop, of course. Some people, like the truck in the right, choose to give me a break. And let's see if you can notice one of my I Spies here. You see that? Yeah, those people just don't respect the road. He's funny, he's just looking out. Well, at this point, I am definitely regretting not bringing a water bottle and deciding to do a couple of miles on a bike ride after not having ridden a bike for about a year or so. But alas, here we are, and we must push on. So towards this side, if you'll notice, there's a lot more of a straight shot all the way to the back of the creek versus the other side of the park was really a lot more trails that winded and crossed each other. This side is mostly just for people looking to do maybe a long distance run or a cycle, with pretty much a trail with a longer cycle axis and a lot less people on it. Those fences aren't typically there. I'm assuming that they were there to prevent when there was a recent storm. There was probably a lot of water in here, and I guess it was there to prevent people from wanting to get in the water. Not quite sure what that is there, but here we are going to be, that's an access from one of the streets in the neighborhood. But up ahead there is another park on this side. It's a little bit further, and it doesn't help that I'm going a little bit slower due to dehydration in this portion. Okay. There we are. And here a couple of our I Spy items. Taking a little detour to the park. This again is going to connect to International Street, so you can also park here towards the road. There's a few parking spots. if you don't want to park at the main entrance. A lot more of the locals come here. And in case you haven't seen the I Spy items, we did pass here's a restroom to our left. We did pass a skate park, some volleyball courts, and some basketball courts with here's another entrance to the subdivision to the right. So again, several subdivisions do connect, for ease and accessibility, of the homeowners that live in the area. Here's a better view of the volleyball courts, basketball courts, and again, we're gonna pass the skate park. And in case you missed it, there was 2 skateboarders to the left, and we just passed the skater for those of you following along on that portion. Not too much interesting or going on here, so I will speed it up a bit. To the left, you will find a painted mural, most likely, high school kids come paint it, or volunteer students. They're really nice. They're all throughout the parks. I enjoy watching them. It adds a pop of color. And to the left, there is a couple of baseball fields, and they're not full fields. It's just kind of areas where you can hit a baseball, and there's a net in the back to prevent the balls from, going to the other fields. It kind of looks like 4 of them back to back next to each other. I'll show you a better view in a bit. There's a Murphy's gas station and a Smoothie King entrance right there. So you want to stop for a smoothie and get all the calories you just lost on your bike ride. That's a perfect spot to do it. Hopefully they have some diet options. There's a Verizon, a Subway on the other side. So right now we're getting towards the loop. It's a loop 20. That's the outer Bob Bullock area. And it backs up into this park. That's pretty much the end or furthest point of the park. It's pretty much the end of the furthest point of the park. From here, it's just pretty much going back. We're going to go ahead and go back through a different route. So it's all going to be a little bit different. Most of it, we're going to be on the other side. So we are pretty much just going in a big, oddly shaped circle. There's another mural for you all. And we will stop for an I Spy. So as you've noticed, pretty much what is it? I'm not sure if you could see it, but it was just a few deer or deer. Well, it was a few deer, and they're just pretty much hanging out grazing. They're very common here in Laredo. There is an apartment complex here to our right. Now we're going to be passing. Not quite sure if they're apartments or condos. No, they're apartments. And as you've noticed to the right, you'll still keep on having access to the bike trail for almost a majority of the entire trail, which I'm supposed to be staying in. But since it's empty right now, I'm just taking the opportunity to hog the trail for my viewers, of course. And here comes another I Spy to the left. For those of you that have made it this far, I want to thank y'all very much. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it too long? Is it too lengthy? This has definitely been the longest video I've ever done. I'm not a fan of doing long videos because they do take a while to record and complete. But I figured I might give it a shot. There's many people that do want to take a look at the North Central Park Trail and see what it's all about, see how far it is. see if they can take it to their kids. Maybe they wonder or take their kids to the other side of the trail. This is not a great place for little ones on this side because you will have faster cyclists like myself or a lot more joggers. For the other side of the street is probably the better portion for slower paced or more relaxed walking versus here where she might have a little bit more fast activity. And that was the tractor for the I Spy. On the right, we're going to go ahead and pass again Gold's Gym. Right here in the evenings, you can see them doing CrossFit. All out here in this outer area is where they do the CrossFit. And again, the sign that says that traffic does not stop for pedestrians, like this one here, but the one on the left did, so that's great. And here we are back on the other side of the trail to continue the final quarter. And again, as a reminder, let me know your thoughts on this video. Am I shaking too much? Am I moving too much? Is it okay? Of course. Oh, there's a mural to our left. Of course, I am on a bike, so that's as stable as I could get it for it being just mounted on my bike. And of course, in case you haven't figured it out yet, I am not recording this while I am... There we go. Just wanted to show you a view to my right. I am not recording this while I am riding the bike. I am recording the audio afterwards. By this point, I was dying. I needed water. I was pressing on through. My legs were burning. It's not that far of a distance, but I was trying to paddle as hard as my little legs could get me so that this video is not too long. So on the right side where you see those apartments, that's where we came in through, or at least the outer part of the circle. Another mural here to our left. It's our duty to... Didn't get that. Okay, it's our duty to love, I think. More houses to our left. And another restroom. There are several restrooms located throughout. And even though it's 90 degrees in the middle of the day, still a lot of people out here, you know, just taking a stroll. And wanted to show you a front facing view of the park. You can put pause there if you want to get a better idea of the playground for the kiddos so that we can be on our way. More people walking. A lot of people are walking and they do take up the entirety of the trail, so it kind of makes it a little dangerous for cyclists. You know, you got to get your bells. I don't know if you remember the pull-up bars to our left. And here I typically hang a left and go all the way straight back to International, but that's a little bit more of a boring portion of the trail because it is just a straight shot. To our right is where the dog park was again. I'm gonna make a left here and continue through a middle trail. So this middle trail pretty much takes us, that goes left again to the straight shot. This middle one takes us back to where we started. That's a little bridge, don't fall off of it. Families coming with their scooters, strollers. More playground. And in between all these greenery, all the shrubs, there are more disc holes in there. I know there are several holes. I don't know if it's 9 or 18 holes. If somebody knows and it's made it this far, please comment down below how many holes there are in this particular park. I'm gonna go ahead and try and make it up through the grass so I can get you all a front shot of the, I promise it's a lot steeper than it looks. Let me get y'all a front shot of the golf rules. That was very poor. Okay, well, hopefully you can pause it there and see some of them. More dogs here. So if you've liked the video up to now and you've made it this far, please like and follow if you want to see more content of other parks here in Laredo. It does take a while to do the parks. Luckily, this is the biggest park, so any other park will be a lot easier to do. And I'm gonna go ahead and get one more final shot of the pool area in case you all missed it in the beginning. Hopefully I can get maybe a different angle, or it might be the same exact angle that we started with, but here we go, you know, just so we can see where we started from and the entire trail we did. Have yourself a great day.